So welcome everyone to Acu Yoga, functional yoga techniques off the mat to support your well-being. My name's Gee. This is session 3 out of 6. So when our load exceeds our capacity to cope, stress imprints itself upon the body. And that can impact our digestive system, our procreation, our pleasure, and it's generally replaced with fatigue, aches and pains, weight gain. The session today really invites us to explore how our emotions and our psychology is actually mapped on the physical plane within our body, and how the invisible sensory load is made visible through its, materialistic expression upon the body. So for example, a nagging lower back pain may be referred from the emotional content that's within our psoas from perhaps sitting too long. A frozen shoulder, which expresses itself through frozen tears or unexpressed emotions from carrying too much load. So this is how naturopathically or through the language of yoga, we can identify how we carry or wear our emotions. I had an interesting conversation this week about yoga. And like I said, in Western terminology, it's become more of an exercise, but really yoga is the art of undoing. It teaches us or the body how to relax and let go using breath and micro movement to actually help us come into that restful space. The way I like to see it is that imagine yourself as a beach, just open and choiceless, awaiting for gifts from the sea. And this is kind of the space that we want to eventually end up in that state through the practice of our yoga asanas. And when we're fully immersed in that space, we actually enter the meditative state, which is blissful relaxation. So the techniques today we're going to be exploring are mainly supine and lying down. Within my own yoga practice, I keep it very functional. So you can actually kind of like incorporate this practice first thing in the morning whilst you're still in bed, or perhaps as a sleep routine on your bed. So if you want to do tonight's practice on your bed, please be my guest. Otherwise, most of it will be on the floor. I'm actually going to use my couch. So I've elevated it slightly, and it's going to be very gentle. There's a lot of stretch work. We will be doing a few poses through that. And we're actually going to talk about or experience the heart chakra, which is actually the bridge between the lower 3 energy centers and the upper 3. So it's the crossover point. It encourages us to explore our relationships, our relationship with ourselves, the boundaries we set, and our relationship with others. And of course, before we can extend our love to others, we need to identify what serves us, what serves our mind, what serves our body, our energy, and our bliss. What is it that feeds and nurtures our happiness? So, if there aren't any questions, let's begin. I will end the session as I have done previously in Shavasana, and I shall leave you to enjoy that state of bliss. So you may also need for today's practice a bath towel, which is rolled up. I'm going to use an extra yoga mat that I have, which I've rolled up, but a bath towel may be easier on your spine for today's practice. A belt would be handy, or you could use a long scarf. And I have a bolster, but you can easily use a couple of cushions or a pillow. It may also be useful to have a yoga block. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable on your yoga mat, or if you prefer, on your bed. What we're going to do is roll up your towel, your bath towel, and you're going to just place it on the length of your yoga mat. And what we're going to do to begin with is place your sacrum at the bottom of your towel or the rolled up mat. You can use the pillows underneath your knees to support you. And you're gently going to roll your spine against your rolled up towel. Just maneuver your sacrum so that it's comfortable. What do I mean by that? So if you bend your knees, place your feet onto your mat, just lift your buttocks and your sacrum off the mat and slide yourself so that the sacrum or your tailbone just slips slightly off the towel, allowing the rest of the towel to mirror your spine. So your spine is imprinted upon the length of the bath mat. Now you can either rest your neck on the towel if that's comfortable for you, or you can roll up the edge of the towel and place it underneath the nape of your neck to support it. The idea is that you're completely supported and it opens up the shoulders and the heart. Drop your knees so that the soles of the feet are kissing together, like a butterfly pose. If you're happy without pillows or props, that's fine. Just work within your own limitations. Be guided by your body. Now, I have a slight frozen shoulder. My right shoulder is not as functional this week. So I'm going to adapt my movements accordingly. Okay, let's begin with scanning the body. You can place your hands on your navel, or you can rest them in prone with your palms facing upwards to the side of the mat. So we just engage with our breath and arrive upon our mat. Breathing in deeply through the nose, drawing the breath into our belly, expanding the belly with a full body breath, feeling the lower spine imprint itself onto your towel or onto the mat. Holding for a couple of seconds, feeling the fullness of that breath, and then exhaling completely, vacuuming the stomach. And notice how the body gently sinks onto that mat as you engage with your breath. Closing the eyes. Inhale, full body breath. Exhale, drawing the navel to touch back of the spine. The next inhale, I invite you to expand your rib cage like the gills of the fish. Really puff up the chest. Ujjayi breath or victorious breath settles the mind and the heart. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Just notice the weight of your body. And allow gravity to really work on opening the shoulders and the chest. Ensure there's no tension around the neck. You may want to take your left hand, just place it under your neck, using the fingertips to massage the flesh. Lift the head, drawing your hair backwards. Just using your fingertips to comb through your hair as you just prepare the body to move into its restful space. Shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and then drawing them back. Just feeling where you're carrying the load. What side seems heavier? Bringing your palms together and pressing them against each other in prayer pose. Just releasing the wrists, spreading the fingers. Just rotating the wrists against each other like flamingo hands. Just creating a bit of a dance around the wrist to release any tension and reverse that. Squeezing the hands together and stretching them out. So lengthening your arms up towards the ceiling with your hands clasped so that the shoulders fall away from the shoulder socket, and then just gently pushing them back in. Repeat that a couple of times, stretching up towards the ceiling and drawing them back down towards the earth. Just bringing your hands and arms to rest. Let's start with a few stretches to our legs. So planting the feet onto the mat, bending your knees. In fact, let's stretch those legs back out again. And what I'm going to ask you to do is 1 foot at a time, gently place the foot onto your mat and slide the foot back with intention. So against resistance of the mat, and notice your legs become active. Let's repeat that on the other side. Just sliding the foot back gently against resistance on your mat, which activates the leg muscles. So your feet are firmly planted onto the mat, knees bent, lifting your toes up, sinking the heels in, placing your feet, your toes back down onto the mat, but spreading the toes as you do so. This time lifting the heels off of your mat and then placing them down. Just repeat that a couple of times, awakening and releasing any tension that we're holding in our feet. Okay, I invite you to draw the left knee towards the chest whilst rooting the right foot into your mat. Turn to place the left foot over the right knee for a gentle hip opener. And using your left hand and the thumb to press into the thigh, just massaging the muscles and noticing any places of tension. Or perhaps it's feeling a little sore. Move down to the calf muscle. So again, it's like peeling the skin away from the bones. Hooking your thumb into your hip and stretching the skin away for a deeper hip opener. Great. Moving into your buttocks and just peeling the skin away from your buttocks. Releasing the foot and placing it onto the mat. Let's repeat that on the other side. So, drawing the right knee into your chest. Notice the range of movement. Turning the foot onto and placing it onto your left knee, allowing the hip to open, the right hip to open. And again, using your hands to massage your muscles, peeling the skin away from the bones, really working those muscles and the pressure points. Notice the area of sensitivity or tension. Hooking the right thumb into your right hip and drawing that hip out for a deeper hip opening. And using your fingers of the right hand to lift the skin across your buttocks in an anti-clockwise fashion, just to release the sacrum. Release the foot and place it down onto the mat. So now, before we grab our yoga belt, I'm going to ask you to place your hands underneath your sacrum with the index finger and the thumb, the tip of the thumbs touching one another, creating a triangle. So you're cushioning your sacrum and you're just going to rock your hips from side to side gently so you can release any tightness across the lower sacrum. Notice how that feels. And whilst we're there, we're going to lift our sacrum off the mat into an easy bridge with an inhale. Exhale, vacuum your stomach, empty the air from the stomach. And then one by one, place the vertebra back onto your mat. Release the hands. So you should have full spine engagement. And you should feel some space around the hips. Legs are still active. Shoulders released. Okay. So Let's grab our yoga belt. Tie it up. So just thread the end of the yoga belt so you've created a bit of a tightness. And we're going to wrap, so lift our left foot off the mat. We're going to wrap the yoga belt under the arch of the left foot and grab the other end with our hands. Just lengthen the left foot out, so extend outwards against resistance that you've created by holding the yoga belt against it. Notice what that feels like. Stretch the toes. The right foot engaged, heels sinking in. And with that, we're going to draw the leg up, the left foot up towards the ceiling, using the belt to aid that stretch and that length. Really stretching those hamstrings, using the belt. So using your hands along the belt. And then in your own time, I ask you to drop your left leg. So you're still pushing against resistance. You're just going to drop the left leg outwards. 45 degrees, 90 degrees, just work within your own movement or limitations. Inhale, draw it back to the midline. And again, see if we can draw it further up towards the midline, pushing the left foot away towards the ceiling for an extended stretch. Push down with the right foot to extend the left leg away. And in your own time, let's bring that leg down so it's stretched away from the body. So when we're lengthening the left leg against the belt, notice the length you create within the left hip. So let's push against the belt and just really lengthen that left leg away, holding the belt against resistance. Fabulous. Let's place that foot, the left foot, onto the mat. And let's repeat that on the other side. So right foot, we're just going to wrap the yoga belt around the arch of the foot and lengthen the right leg. Really noticing the hip lengthen, using the breath to draw that extra extension. And when you're ready, we're going to raise that right leg straight up. pointing the big toe, pushing down with the left foot on the mat to raise that right leg and extend it up as far as you can. Then dropping it to the side, using the belt, the yoga belt as a guide to see how far your extension can fall. And drawing the leg back to the midline. Let's try that again. Just allowing that hip to open. Releasing the adductors. Feeling that hamstring stretch. And releasing the leg, placing it straight down. Brilliant. And just placing that right foot back onto the mat. So what we can do now is just move your pillows, your bolsters out of the way. You can move your rolled up mat or towel out of the way. And just notice how your body is feeling. How does that spine feel? A little bit more open, perhaps. Shoulders are now resting on the mat. Let's take a moment to pause. Breathe in. Extend the left and the right legs down. And feel the weight of your body just sink onto your mat. It takes time to undo and let go of the load we carry. Not so much the physical, but more the invisible, the emotional content, the psychological content. So be gentle and kind with yourselves. Okay. Next movement. Now, I'm just going to show you a trick that if you're lying on a higher surface, like a bed, I mean, these techniques, you know, I generally do quite in the morning whilst I'm in bed. And what you can do is if you come to the edge of your bed, just drop the left hip and leg off the side of the bed. This just creates a really nice hip opening. So your right knee is bent, foot is on your bed, and the left leg just falls off the side. You can do the same with the left shoulder and just allow gravity to do the work. This is a great way to wake up in the morning with ease and prepare you for the day. And you repeat that on the other side. It's just a quick tip. Okay. So we're going to take our yoga block and place it between the palms of our hands. Extend the arms up towards the ceiling. So you're not grabbing the yoga block, it's just resting between the palms. So on an inhale, we're going to extend our arms up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, we're going to draw our arms up behind our head. And again, inhale, drawing the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let them float back towards the head. So you're extending your arms away from the head. And again, inhale. Exhale. Slow motion. The movement follows the breath. Okay. Now what we're going to do is on an inhale, so we're going to go into a few crunches, cross-core crunches. On an inhale, we're going to extend our arms towards our knees. And as we do so, we're going to lift so the body moves along with it. So your shoulder blades and your neck and your head's going to lift off the mat. And then again, on an exhale, you're going to fall back onto the mat and raise your arms above your head. So on an inhale, drawing the arms up towards the knees now. And as you're moving towards the knees, your body is moving off the mat. So mini crunches. On an exhale, we lower the body and our arms move above the head. Make sure your feet are planted and your heels are sinking into your mat to give you some core balance. So again, inhale as you draw your arms towards your knees. The upper part of your torso is lifting off the mat. You should feel your core engage. Exhale, draw your arms back. I'm just going to rest my right shoulder. This time we're going to lift opposite knee to opposite arm as we draw ourselves up. So mini crunches. You can let go of the block if you wish. So this is opposite left hand to right knee to do a mini crunch and then back down. Opposite side. So right hand over the left knee and mini crunch. So your body moves with the breath. Again, opposite hand to opposite knee, mini crunch. So imagine your right knee is pushing your left hand away, drawing the upper part of your body up. You should feel that in your navel. Placing the right foot down. And again, opposite hand to opposite knee. Back down. This time we're going to take it a little further. So hands outstretched, your arms are outstretched in front of you. And we're going to sink your feet, your heels into the mat. This time we're going to lift the body as much as we can off the mat. So inhale, lift. So inhale, crunch. Exhale, draw back. Again, inhale, crunch. And draw back. Really feel that core engaging. So inhale, lifting the body up, stretching the legs out in front of you. And draw back with resistance, with control. Arms stretched out. Inhale, lift your feet off the mat. Drawing your knees towards your chest at 90 degrees. Inhale and crunch. Drawing them back down. Inhale, crunch. One more time. Inhale, lift your torso up and crunch. You can extend the legs out fully. And place them down. Exhale and just feel the work across your cross core. Stretching your legs out into Shavasana and just feeling, just scanning your body, taking a moment. Placing your hands underneath your sacrum once again, legs outstretched. So lift your buttocks up. This time just hug your arms close to your body, placing your left hand over the right as you place them underneath your buttocks or your sacrum. So it's your hands are behind your back. We're just going to go into a gentle Madhyasana or fish pose. And the way we do this is we literally tilt our head back onto the mat, which lifts our shoulders and our heart off, outstretching, lengthening our legs on the mat, raising our heart. Easy pose. Inhale. Deep belly breath. Exhale. Vacuum out. And just slide the head back until you're resting on your mat again. Just be mindful that there's no tension in your neck when you do this pose. Let's change the hands over. So now your left hand is beneath and your right hand is on top. Hands behind your back. And see where they're comfortable. Ideally, your arms need to be stretched out. So they may fall just under your buttocks. And again, hug your arms in towards your ribs, lifting the shoulders off the mat as your head tilts back. So your chin moves upwards towards the ceiling, drawing your head onto the mat. Really lovely micro stretch, engaging the heart, and lower, releasing the hands from under your back. And scanning the body. So let's turn onto our stomach. I'm going to invite you to take the yoga block. And what we're going to do with it is, I'll just demonstrate. We're going to place it above the pubic bone, but beneath the thorax. So it's below the bony protrusions, and it's going to sit in the soft cavity of our stomach. So if we come onto all fours, place the block on the mat. Start with placing your pelvis onto the block, so it's just in the soft part of the belly. You can come into Sphinx to gently move into the block. You should be able to feel the pulse of the navel as you sink in to the yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can just use a rolled up towel. This is a great technique to center the heartbeat and the sacral chakra above the navel. And it's a brilliant technique to open up tight hips. Place your hands, cross your hands underneath your forehead and just come into a restful position. There should be no pain. So just maneuver the block so it's in the soft part of the belly. It will feel a little bit uncomfortable if this is the first time you're doing it. But with practice, it really creates softness across the muscles of the stomach and helps you to vacuum, to create that vacuum in your belly. So let's take a few minutes. Work within your own limitations again. So if you can only hold that space for 30 seconds, that's fine. Remove the yoga block away. If you can hold it a bit longer, then I invite you to do so. So placing your forehead down onto your hands. Inhale. Feel the yoga block push against your belly as you do so. Exhale. Empty the belly and feel the yoga block sink deeper in. Almost as though the navel is going to touch the back of the spine. And again, inhale. Exhale, release. You should be able to feel the heartbeat against the block. And notice where it sits. Is it falling to one side or another? Or is it centered? And again, inhale. Exhale. How deep can you go? If you've had enough, gently lift yourself up into Sphinx and remove the yoga block away. Just releasing your hips and move into a restful position. Hands upon each other and just rest your forehead on your hands. Stretch your legs out. And just notice how you're feeling. Body scan. Is there more length and space within your hips? Can you feel the pulse of your belly? Whilst we're there, let's lift the right leg, extend it backwards and lift it, raise it up so that you fire up the right glutes and place it down. Let's do that with the left. Lift, raise the left leg up, firing up the left glute and place it down. Remember, you can do this whilst you're in bed. So you could do it as a nighttime routine or a waking up routine. And again, lift the right leg, raise it upwards, firing up the right glute. And let's do that on the other side. Left leg, raise it up. This time we're going to do opposite hand to opposite leg. So you're going to draw your left arm out. So you're extending it out away from you. Move that out of the way. Extend your left arm away from you. And at the same time, lift your right leg. So you're firing up the glute and you can feel the cross core work. Firing up. Brilliant. Place it down. Bring your arm back in and let's do the opposite side. So you're stretching your right lengthening your right arm out and lifting your left leg up. You can really feel that cross core work, the bridge crossing over at the core, left to right, and place it down. Let's repeat that. Left leg, left arm, right leg. Left leg, right arm. One more time. Placing your palms flat on the mat, coming onto your elbows, into the Sphinx, and lifting your upper torso, your heart up. Easy pose. Lengthening your legs so that they're active. Inhale. Exhale, come to rest. Just bring yourself down. Drawing the arms closer to your breast now. So your hands, your fingers are spread out. Closer to your breast. Your elbows are hugging the side of your body. And on an inhale, we're going to lift ourselves up as far as you can go. Legs stretched out behind. And come down. One more time. So, lifting. And coming to rest. Just sides now. Okay, so last pose on our belly. Just bend your left leg. Grasp the ankle with your hand, with your left hand. Just as you push away with your left foot, raise your chest off the ground. You can use your right hand to support you and your right leg lengthened on the mat. So it's half a body off the mat and then down. Let's repeat that on the other side. So you're going to use the left arm to support your weight. You're going to grab your left ankle with, your right ankle with your right hand. And you're going to use that to pivot and pull your body off the mat. Heart opening Ensure that there's no constriction to the lower back. How far can you go? And release. Just repeat that one more time. If you'd like to do both together, so you're using your hands to grab the ankles, draw your legs, your knees together, flex your feet into easy boat pose. It's a very active posture. And remember, it's micro movements. So even if you can only come slightly off the mat with your chest, it's fine. And release. Oh, I think I've opened my shoulder, which is great. If you'd like to repeat that one more time, please do so. Okay, so time flies so quickly, it's already been an hour. I want to do one more pose, which is the bridge pose for a extended heart opening. So if we go back into supine now, and you may need your yoga block for this. So sitting, starting in supine. So knees bent, feet on the floor, on the mat, sorry. We're going to start by just moving the flesh of our buttocks away, holding onto our shins, extending the arms with intention. So we're going to breathe in. Exhale, we're just going to mindfully draw our spine onto the mat. So easy does it. So we come down one vertebra at a time. So bring your heels back towards your buttocks. Press down into the heels to lift your sacrum off the mat. Exhale. Print your spine back onto the mat. This time, we're going to inhale, big belly, and lift the sacrum and the spine off the mat. Hugging your shoulders behind to get an extended lift. Big belly inhale. So belly should grow big. Exhale, empty the belly. So create a void or a vacuum inside your belly. This should also release the hips. Sink your heels into the mat and imagine your knees are moving away towards the opposite direction. So they're it's almost as though someone is standing there pulling your knees towards them. So you're getting this extension in your hips and your legs are firing, they're active. Exhale. draw your vertebra down one at a time back onto the mat. Move your heels closer to your buttocks. Push down through your heels to lift up. And it's not just up, your knees are moving away. So it's almost as though someone's grabbing, pulling your knees away from your body, from your hips, and that's helping the sacrum lift off the mat. It's effortless. Inhale, big belly. Exhale, empty the air from the belly. This releases the hips. Let's try that again. Inhale, big belly. Exhale. Create a vacuum. You should really feel this pose. Full body activation. If you want, you can clasp your hands underneath your back to support the lift. Exhale, and then drop your spine back onto the mat, one vertebra at a time. Feet active. Feel that length in the spine through the hips. Take a moment. If you want this time, you can use the yoga block and place it underneath your sacrum to aid the lift and give you a longer extension. So you can either use it flat or you can take it up a notch. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. Inhale, lifting, big belly lifting, peeling the spine away from your mat. You can tiptoe for a heightened extension. Place the yoga block just above the tailbone, so it's resting on the sacrum, allowing that extension of the hips to release. Your heels are rooted. You can actually grab your ankles with your fingertips or your hands, drawing your shoulders underneath. Neck is relaxed. Awareness of the breath moving into the belly. So expand the belly with the breath. Big belly. Exhale, vacuum. Really empty the thoracic cavity and your stomach of air so that you create a vacuum. You should really feel the pelvis engage, the pelvic muscle. You should feel a sensation at the roof of the mouth. This comes with practice. Relax your body. Take a few more breaths. Enjoy this moment. In your own time, remove the yoga block away and then slowly, one vertebra at a time, come back to your mat. Unfold your spine. Notice if there's any tension between the hips. Notice if you've got any cramp underneath the inner arches of your feet. Then drop your knees towards the left as you turn to face the opposite direction for a gentle twist. Come to center and repeat, dropping your knees towards the right and your head in the opposite direction. Let your left arm fall out into the opposite direction and back to center. One more time, dropping the knees towards the left as you roll your head towards the right and extend your right arm out. Back to center. And the other side. Gentle twist. And just prepare yourself for Shavasana. Extend your legs. If you're tired of being on your back in supine, you may want to lie on your side. You can place a pillow between your legs and underneath your neck. You may want to sit up in a seated position. Whatever you desire. As we prepare for some yoga nidra, feel your body scanning your body as it sinks into the earth. Allow your shoulders to spread across the floor. Moving your head from side to side to release the neck and allow the head to let go. Imagine a rainbow surrounding your body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Feeling the light widening outwards, penetrating and nourishing your aura. Take your attention to your breath and allow your body to rise and fall with each breath, like the tides of an ocean. Just witness the flow and the quiet rhythm. Move your attention to the feet and allow your toes to spread and separate. Flex and release. Draw your breath to the soles of your feet and see if you can sense a pulse. Allow the feet to relax and fall to the side. Drawing the breath to your kneecaps, massaging any tension, letting go of the tiredness of being on your feet. Noticing the space between the hips and the navel. Taking your attention to your lower spine. And noticing the spaces between the vertebra and the emotional release, the lightness, like a soft breeze. Visualize your breath massaging every organ and the spaces between your joints. Radiating light. Returning integrity to your body and mind. Feel the openness. Reaching up to the throat. Releasing the voice. Allow your face to soften. The eyelids are heavy. Your tongue relaxes. And your whole body surrenders with ease, supported by the earth beneath. One should lie empty, open, choiceless, as a beach waiting for gifts from the sea. And repeat in the quietness of your mind, I am peaceful. I am relaxed. I have all I need at this moment. I am stillness. I am silent. I am loved. I am. Om Shanti.